justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to this Monday, March 20th Board of Commissioners meeting. Commissioner Ewitz will be a little late, I believe, so we'll get started without him. First item is public comment, which is for anyone that's not on the agenda. Looks like we don't have any this week. So next, we will honor Joe Osler for her service at Clinton County. And so I'm going to say a few words, and these are words that were given to me. So if I say something wrong, just speak up and correct me here. So Joe worked for Clinton County for 27 years, and I'm going to read what's here. So she had some big shoes to fill after the retirement of longtime clerk Pam Beard, and did she sure fill them well. Always friendly, cheerful, efficient, and friendly to all the highway employees. But the most impressive thing about her was how she handled some phone calls that were usually with people that were not too nice. She always stepped up to new challenges with the job and can always be counted on. She will definitely be missed. Some other words that people said that they will definitely miss her chili and her cookies that she would bring into the guys at the department. That she always made it feel like home in terms of decorations for the holidays around the office, and that she was that cheerful smile in the morning. So, Joe, we thank you for your service, and we actually have a plaque we'd like to give you. So, unless you'd like to give us a few words.
I just appreciate being able to work for Clinton County. It's been fun.
Okay. Well, here, Bert, let's go up there. We'll get a picture with her. Get to this. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. There you have it.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That'll lead us right into Rick, who has a highway update for us. Morning, Rick.
I said something about the Hillisburg tile last time we was here. The tile is in, the tile is working. We've got some landscaping work to do, and when things straighten up, we'll get the landscaping work done.
Okay.
And we hope to start spreading gravel the 1st of April. We're crack sealing right now, trying to crack seal when it ain't raining. So we're trying to get some of our roads crack sealed. And we found out late Friday that we got federal aid for Bridge 115, which is between Williams Street and Alhambra on Kelly Road.
And that's in 2028. Is that correct?
2028.
Okay.
That's for 2028.
Okay.
I have appraisal estimate sheets for Bridge 21 that Jordan needs to sign,
Okay.
and give you those. There's 3 of them.
So I'll entertain a motion. I think these all were on the drive for acquisitions for right of way for Bridge 21. So,
I'll make the motion that the president sign all 3.
okay. Second that motion carries 2-0.
And I was wondering if the commissioners and the attorney could sign the papers for Bridge 55.
Yeah, I've signed it. Bert he got back from vacation, so I think he'll be able to sign it. And
Okay.
we talked about it at the
Yeah.
last meeting, so it should be
We got the guys cleaning their salt boxes out today and getting them hung back up, so hopefully we're done with them.
okay. You need
That's all I got.
need a copy. Okay, here, Rick. Good. Thank you, Rick. Okay, next up is Liz Stitzel with Area Plan Update. Good morning, Liz.
Good morning. I don't have a whole lot. We've got drafts of bid documents that I finished up this morning that Tom and Jerry are looking over, so hopefully we'll get those out this week on the Farmer's Gravel House. And then I think it'll probably be another meeting or so before it comes in front of you, but the town of Colfax has got paperwork together for the 2 properties that are on tax sale that there'd been previous conversation about transferring to the town to assist with some parking and drainage challenges. And so the surveyor's office is double checking the legal descriptions just to make sure everything is correct. And assuming that it is, I would anticipate that will also be coming your way. I think that's everything I know of directly related at the moment, unless you have a question for me.
I have none.
I don't have any. Thank you.
Perfect, easy. Have a great morning.
All right, thank you. Okay, we don't have any old business today, so we'll just move on to our new business. The first item is we have a maximum service agreement, which I believe, Britt, do you want to provide a little explanation? We've reviewed it, Tom's reviewed it, Bert and I have, but just, I think you can say it better than I can.
This is for our reimbursement for the clerk and the prosecutor. It's one that they go through in great detail to make sure we get our 66% reimbursement, so I think it's something that's important that we want to keep going.
Yep.
So, no doubt. I'll make the motion that we approve the Maximus service agreement today.
Second. Motion carries 2-0. I'll finish that in after. Okay, next up, Stephanie, our clerk, had provided us with a sheet to just read off here for the voting centers, locations, dates, and times. I think they're posted. They've been in the paper or will be in the paper, but they're posted outside. So I'll just read this off with some notes that she provided here. So, see, voting will be from Tuesday, April 4th through Friday, April 28th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, April 22nd, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., Saturday, April 29th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Monday, May 1st, 8 a.m. to noon, and that is here at the courthouse. On Saturday, April 2nd, from 9 to 3, the Edward Jones Community Center 4-H building will be open for voting, as well as on Saturday, April 9th, from the same time. And then on Election Day, which is May 2nd, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., the Community Schools of Frankfurt Education and Administration Center, the Adrian Marks Terminal, which is at the airport, and the Edward Jones Community Center will be the 3 locations. So on the ballot will be the Republican Party for the city of Frankfurt, and there will also be a public question for Clinton Central School Corporation. So for anyone in that district, they'll have to go to one of those 3 locations to vote and answer that question. And then she has a double star down here that note that for the 2023 May primary election, the Democratic Party did not request that a primary election be held. Their non-contested candidates will appear on the general election ballot in November. So these are posted, they're in the paper. She wanted to continue to get the information out there. Okay, next up, we have Ordinance 2023-02, which is an amendment to Ordinance 2012-11, which is a designation of an ADA and Title VI coordinator, correct? And so how this came about is roughly in 2017 and 2018, the county had to do an ADA compliance report. And it's good for 20 years. However, for the federal government, it's good for 20 years. But with NDOT, they have now said that it has to be updated every 3 years. And so we have to do this additional compliance to show that we're making progress on issues that are ADA compatible. So this is an amendment to the ordinance for some of the language that NDOT required us to change. It's also establishing Jerry Sexton as the ADA and Title VI coordinator. So I will entertain questions or comments or a motion on that, Bert.
I have no questions. I've read through it again, and I will make the motion that we execute the amendment to the ADA Compliance Act.
Okay, I will second that. So motion carries 2-0 to accept ordinance 2023-02. First. The next two things are similar. They are amendments to Exhibit A, which is the notice under the ADA Act, and then there's an amendment to Exhibit B, which is the Clinton County grievance procedure under the ADA Act, and they reflect the coordinator's name that was not there previously. So we probably better just do two motions for each exhibit.
I'll do the second one, that we entertain that we amend and sign the Clinton County grievance procedure under that act.
Okay, I will second that. You can, and so you're gonna do, that was B, are you gonna do Exhibit A as well?
Yes, I will make that same motion that we do Exhibit A.
Okay, motion carries 2-0. So both Exhibit A and Exhibit B can be signed to make these amended changes to the ADA.
Congratulations, Gary.
Okay. Next up, we have two change orders from Envoy. Again, we'll do it in two motions, just so it's clear. So the first one is a change order to the courthouse chiller. It's currently scheduled to be delivered on time, but there's concerns that it's not going to get here. So this amendment is bringing back the rental so that we have air conditioning at the courthouse for 2 months. And so we, as long as we get this canceled before it gets on the trailer, there's no penalty. But once it's on the trailer, then we will have to pay for 1 month of it. So the change order for 2 months total is $35,000.
I see we have no choice, obviously.
We do
So, it's either that or it's going to be hot in here.
Yeah.
So I'll make the motion that we sign the change order for the chiller.
Okay, I will second that. Motion carries 2-0 to accept the change order on the extension or the addition of rental chiller. And then the second one is reflected as a change order, but it is for the asbestos remediation that still has to be done, even though we're tearing the building down. The interior has to be hauled to a separate site. And so it's a change order because we haven't accepted the GMP yet. And so this amount will come off the
From that
demolition
balance.
amount, since we haven't accepted that. But they need to do this process first. So that change order is for $21,700, which is the bid to remove the asbestos.
I'll make the motion that we accept and sign the change order for the annexation asbestos remediation.
Okay, I'll second that. Okay, last item under new business is we have the sign placement request form for the Frankfurt Kiwanis for their pancake breakfast fundraiser. They're requesting to place the sign out there starting on April 24th on the southeast corner for 14 days. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the sign placement request.
I'll make that motion. However, I do have a question. Have we set a time period, Mr. President, on how long each of those are going to be able to place, or do we just simply address each one individually?
We've been addressing them individually. This one's for 14 days. The other one, they've all put it on there, so we can amend it if we see it unfit or if it's too
I'm
long.
good with
but,
that then. I'll make the motion that we accept the placement of the signs for the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast.
I'll second that. Okay, next up is department heads. How many department heads would like to go? Renee?
Just an update.
Morning.
Hi, good morning. Tim and I had a conference call last week within Digital. Our 911 phone system equipment, the hardware that we've been waiting for the refresh for right at a year now, finally everything is in. So we have a date scheduled for May, so to get all of that, and Tim's gonna work with that because it also is some of our phone upgrades that are taking place. So we did do that last week and got that date scheduled. So looking forward to getting that taken care of. And then just an FYI, because it is going into construction season, road construction. Reese Riley called me last week. I have not put it out on our Nixle yet because I'm waiting for NDOT. They usually send me a notification, but April 3rd, State Road 26 is going to be closed again up to the Howard County line to complete that. And then State Road 38 from 900 East in Tippecanoe County into Mulberry will be closed for the construction on 38. So I usually get those about a week ahead of time, but Travis from Reese Riley called me last week to give me a heads up. So I'll get that put out next week so everybody can prepare for that.
Okay, thank you.
Other than that, I don't have anything.
Thank you, Renee.
Thanks, Renee.
Any other department heads? Rodney? Morning.
Rodney.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm just recircling the wagons and revisiting that agreement that we spoke about, I think, last time, and make sure if we're okay with signing that or not.
Yeah, I think we are. Tom
Okay.
reviewed it, and they made a couple changes, so.
Yeah,
I
they
think-
clarified a couple
Yep.
things too, so, do you need a copy in order to sign that again, or?
Yeah, probably should.
Okay,
So-
I believe this is it. I just wanted to make sure I got which one it is here. I think that's what this is here. And then once you, sign it, I'll sign it, or Dr. Pearson will sign
Okay.
it as well, if that's all right with you. The actual agreement for it.
Okay, all
The
right.
statement of work, I believe, but Tom and I realized was our actual cancellation of the
Do you wanna look at
situation.
it? Do you want it, Tom, we'll sign it at our next, so Tom's looked at it.
Yeah.
It was the meeting you were gone, Bert.
Okay.
So.
So you've seen it?
Yeah,
We made some.
it's subtle,
Let them know.
yeah,
Exactly.
so, if you need time, we could do it at our next meeting.
Okay,
if
yeah,
that's all right,
I'd like to read it. I haven't.
Because I'll need a motion to accept it.
Sure,
so,
sure, that's fine.
I'll make the motion that we accept the Indiana Network patient care agreement.
This will give our nurse the opportunity to be able to access network information in a secure exchange. What she's currently having to do is pick up the phone and call all the private practitioners, labs, different little clinics to find out updates on particular clients, and that takes a lot of her time up, and this will give her the ability to access that information to the
If
system.
you'll give me 5 minutes after the meeting,
Sure.
I'll read it real quick, and then I can execute it then, if that's agreeable.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
If not, then I won't, obviously.
Yeah, obviously,
Okay.
thanks.
So we'll second it contingent upon Bert's approval after reading it, so
Yeah.
if not, then we'll bring it back.
Then I'll
at the
bring it
next
back,
meeting.
yeah.
Okay. Any others?
I need a minute.
Okay.
Office of the Sheriff here, Rich Kelly. Couple things to bring up for maintenance on the facility. Our Sallyport door broke. It's 30 years old, depending on when it was built. So one side opens, one side will not move at all, and they cannot find the replacement parts for it. It's been replaced several times, or repaired several times over the last, 30 years. So we're at a point where the company, and we've checked with other companies, there's no replacement parts for it. It's going to need to be replaced, and so we'll throw it on maintenance. Just to let you know, I don't know a cost on it because on the repairs, it's been between $2,000 and $5,000 to get it repaired. So I'm going to guess a new door. It's a lot smaller than the garage door down the basement. I'm going to estimate probably around $8,000 to $9,000 for a new door. And then the time to wait. The Sallyport still functions, but they have to pull in and back out, which will cause some headaches. But at least we're not gonna be having snow and everything else, and it won't be too bad until we get that fixed.
Do you anticipate using the same company that we're using now, or are you gonna?
It depends,
Look at
but
that.
there's not too many companies. You know, you have overhead door in Lafayette, you have overhead door in Indianapolis. They don't work together. They're franchises that are owned separately. So we will try and see if there's any other companies out there. But those are the two that generally that we do work with, and they do a fantastic job. But you know, with everything else, it's delayed shipments, things like that, materials, and obviously the costs have jumped quite a bit in the last couple of years. So we'll get it. I'll get you something sent to you for, you know, and as far as getting it repaired, and that way you can look at it and just know that it's something like that's coming. And I'll get it sent to you.
While you're doing that,
Yeah.
Town and Country locally does garage door repair and/or ordering. Don't know them.
We've checked with them prior,
Okay. I just knew that they
and
did.
sometimes the cost isn't even comparable.
Okay,
So,
good.
but I'll definitely check with them because I do like them. I've had them do work before, and they've also done work for us on windows when we had the jail crashed into, and those windows are leaking, all now leaking. But we're getting to the point where we're adding a lot of caulk and a lot of filler to some of these because the building has changed and settled so much and different things have happened. That whole east side of the building, the office windows, every one of them leak. And the rains that we had, which are, you know, pretty heavy the last 2 weeks ago, it was like a river inside the administration building. So anyway, we'll keep adding something to block and reroute. We may get awnings. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to have to try and do something on those windows. The other big thing is inside the facility, we have about 66 windows that are broken. You know, we've tried to address it as we can. But it's going to be about a $40,000 cost to replace those windows if you're to do it all at once. So you guys want to come take a look at them, they're about 500, I'm going to guess, a piece for the cell doors, and there's some other windows that run the area of about 1,500 a piece. So come take a look at them, and you can see that.
You have
I
a,
think
you
I've
have a
got some
quote on that? Can you send us the quote?
I do have a quote, but
Okay.
it's from 2022.
Okay.
The garage door quote is $13,998. That's what Terry Ritchie has sent me. And the window quote from 2022 is $37,034.24.
So we probably, I'm guessing they won't honor that quote.
I don't know.
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think
That's only
so.
for 64, that's not including the two that are broken and broken, and the cost of everything's increasing.
Yeah.
So I think what we'll do is probably get new glass quotes, and but the 13,000 quote, that should be solid for the replacement of the overhead door and the sally port.
Okay.
And a question about your ADA. We have some, if you come to the facility, and I mean, it's spelled out in our RQAW, the general summary, basically that the facility inside is not ADA to access the rec areas, things like that. And I didn't know if that was a part of the plan or,
So we're gonna have to redo our plan.
Okay.
It's part of this. We have, NDOT essentially gave us 120 days, so we have to now hire a consultant, and that'll, once they get us a quote, we'll bring that to the board
Okay.
and redo our whole plan. So they'll be looking at every facility again.
Okay.
So it's basically requiring us to redo the whole thing.
and talking about ADA, I need handrails replaced at the front entrance. They were taken down by EMB Paving when they did their upgrade to State Road 28. I do have the phone number to the person that, and the crew, the foreman, whatever the case is, but I'm going to double check with them because they were going to come back and do some more work on the highways once the weather broke. So I think the weather's broke. I'm going to try and get them to do the handrails because I think that was a part of the thing. And I
Yeah,
think
I'm sure
that
of it.
the added steps to it now makes it 2 outside rails and a center rail. So I'll
So
check
they need
with
to
them.
add a rail to it.
So I'll check with them.
Okay.
And, I mean, they're not going to match the facade. Right now, we've got 2x4s that
All right, yeah.
didn't look good.
If-
So
If they don't respond, let us know, because we can say something to NDOT.
I will,
mean,
I
'cause
will.
Ultimately.
I think they'll
NDOT has to
respond.
receive it.
And I'll call them and talk to them, see when their estimated time of fixing that is and replacing. So, all right, that's all I have. Thank you. Have any questions for me?
No, I mentioned about our chiller, but your chiller is on pace to be here.
Yes.
So they're coming from two different companies.
Right.
That's why I thought you
It's
might ask
kind of
that.
stagnant right now. They got there's a lot of equipment down there. We got a lot of stored equipment for coming up here to the courthouse. So looks like everything's going to be working right. But and I think typically the air conditioning won't come on till, we still got a couple months.
Yeah.
Before we have to worry about that. I hope.
They said March 28th was the
Delivery date?
Yeah. So, and
Very
they
good.
said it was on the being packaged and sent. So we'll see if that actually happens.
Yeah, write that
Let's
down.
hope. Thank you.
Write that
Yep.
down.
Morning, Commissioner.
Morning, sir.
Any other department heads? Okay, seeing none, I'll move on to commissioner reports. Start with Commissioner Weaver.
All right. I only have one thing, and I think probably most people are already aware of it, but I think that you need to be recognized here, Mr. President. I think it's quite an honor that you received the other day from the state in reference to the Governor's Leadership Award. That's a state award, and I think that kudos to you and congratulations, well-deserved.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And like I said, it was a surprise and shock to me, but it definitely doesn't go unwarranted. But it's, as I've said, it's not about me, it's about Clinton County, so I'm glad that our county's being recognized.
Well done. That's all.
Okay.
I have nothing.
Okay, I have a couple announcements. So the first one for department heads that have buildings, you can pick up the "It's the Law" poster. I believe looks like Rodney has them. So Rodney will be handing out the "It's the Law" posters to those that need it. Of note, our meeting on April 18th and May 1st, those both will be at the airport because there'll be early voting in here. And that also means that the council meeting on April 11th will be at the airport. So we just wanted to let everybody know, and we'll make sure we get that out there before the meeting as well. So other than that, I don't have anything else. So we will move on to claims. Barely. All right. So we have claims dated March 10th in the amount of $51,840.30. Claims dated March 17th in the amount of $10,758.61. Biweekly claims dated March 20th in the amount of $874,016.39. And court claims dated March 20th in the amount of $6,800.25. Assume we had the chance to review those. Any questions or concerns?
Motion to approve claims.
Second. Okay. Motion carries 3-0 to approve claims. Next, we have payroll dated February 24th in the amount of $481,837.86.
Motion to approve payroll. Second.
Okay, motion carries 3-0 to approve payroll. Lastly, we have regular minutes from our March 6th meeting.
Motion to approve.
I'll abstain since I was
All right.
vacant.
Motion carries 2-0 to approve the March 6th minute. Okay, is there any other business that needs to come before the commissioners? Okay, seeing none, as I mentioned, our next meeting, two meetings, sorry. Next one will be here. The following one, April 18th, will be at the airport. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Probably not. It's in the back. No, I don't think it did. I started to, and then